Hey guys, Caleb's Cards here, coming at you with a World War II TTM autograph binder showcase again. And for today, I thought it would be a special day to actually go through the D-Day portion of the binder. I know last time we left off, we'd said we'd go through Women of World War II. We'll save that for a little later, but I figured being June 6, 1944, it's now June 6, 2021, 77th anniversary of D-Day. I thought it'd only be fitting to do a video on the D-Day section, or one of the larger sections of my collection. So I took about an hour or so to get all these names written down, but I have them all in order and some of their uh, accomplishments and accomplishments and things to their name. So of course I got my little 5x7 photo. D-Day, June 6, 1944, day of all days. So this first one here, first two, is Bob Bearden. He was actually my first D-Day World War II veteran return ever, and one of the more generous ones as well. One of the first generous ones too, sending a whole bunch of extras, which we'll cover a little bit later in the section. But he was part of the 507th Parachute Infantry, and he was later captured and was a prisoner of war for quite some time. But actually did a lot afterwards. He jumped out of an airplane, for his 90th birthday or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but he was up there in age. But really cool. So we'll see some more pictures from him later. This one's Mr. Joseph Tessen. He was at D-Day. I don't have any other information on him at the moment. This is Mr. Elvin Holman. He was part of the 101st Airborne. He was also in the 506. I don't believe he was considered he wasn't part of Easy Company, so he wasn't a band of brother. But also was captured and became a prisoner of war, and also fought later in the Korean War. And he spoke about he was supposed to receive a Purple Heart. He never got it, and I actually reached out to my state senators to make awareness of this, and they said that they would have to have a representative or senator from his state of Minnesota do it, but at least they tried. So I don't know if he ever got that or not. This is Richard Schermerhorn. He was a mine detector on Omaha Beach, so pretty dangerous job. This is Graham Alvord. He's a Navyman on an LST-133, which I believe were those transport ships to the beach, if I remember right, but I could be wrong. Henry Boswell, part of the 82nd Airborne Division, 505th Parachute Infantry. He was here from Colorado. We got Eldon Bob Roberts, who was actually a Canadian D-Day veteran. He was actually the second man to hit the beach, and we have a few extra things from him. And this is Fred Glover, who was a British paratrooper, part of the 9th Paratroop Infantry. So here we have Henry Boswell, who did actually pass away shortly after I got this back from him. This is Bob Bearden. There he's checking out his plane, or a plane like his. So at Fort Hood, and then I had a really nice letter from him. And then we had some extras there. But I think he mentioned he had jumped out of an airplane. This, I believe, is from Elvin Holman. It's kind of how I learned about how you can get his Purple Heart. And he included a lot of extra pictures. That's his family seal crest. And this was a picture of his mug in the concentration camp, POW camp. This is Mr. Eldon Bob Roberts. They have him, he was one of the shorter guys there. He's about 5'3" or something like that. Oh, he's 5 foot. They say he's 5 foot. He's a corporal. Well, he's captured a really tall German. And then there was this article that he included. It's pretty cool. He lived in the UK but he was from Canada. And then here's a letter from Frederick Glover. Next up, we have Mr. Warren Goss, who I got to see on the Veterans Breakfast Club, which I'm hoping to watch here at 4:30. They're doing a special. So he's part of the 531st Special Brigade, and he was at Star in Utah Beach. This is Robert L. Curl, who's a Navy on LCC-10 amphibious lander, first wave Omaha Beach. So maybe LCC is probably the lander. Sherwin Callender was at Utah Beach. This is Mr. Robert F. Glenn, who was part of Fox Company. Ted Salisbury was also part of Fox Company. John Bystrica was part of the 1st Infantry Division Regimental Combat Team. Ralph Patrizzi, also part of Fox Company, also fought in Iwo Jima, as well as D-Day. Leo Hero, part of 348th Engineer Combat Battalion. And this is Ralph Pujolovich, 1st Infantry Division, Omaha Beach. This is a note from Sherwin Callender. And this is Mr. John Bystrica at the D-Day anniversary, honoring his fallen brethren. There's a little newspaper clipping from Mr. Warren Goss. This is Leo Heroes shaking hands with President Eisenhower after the war, 1963 or 65 there. And then this is, I think, also came from Leo Hero, a picture of the Big Red Machine. Or Big Red One, I mean. This is Ted Salisbury from Fox Company. He's writing me a letter back. And talking about all the stuff, his military career and his life, which was pretty cool to read. Leo Hero is also, this one is also pretty cool to read. The Soldier Calls Horrors of D-Day. That was also neat, several pages long to read. And then he included just some pamphlets from his visit at Normandy, which was really cool. I sent him a thank you note. Next up, this is Mr. Raymond Gettys. He was part of the 101st Airborne Division, 501st Paratroop Infantry, Easy Company, also known as Band of Brothers. This is Ray Pegram. He's in the 9th Army Air Corps, 434th Troop Carrier Group, and also the 71st Troop Carrier Group. This is Stephen Melnikoff, 1st Battalion, 175th Infantry. Clarence Evans, 1st Wave, Omaha Beach, 116th Regiment, 29th Division. Tom Jensen, U.S. Army, 626th Engineer Light Equipment. This is Charles Buster Shafe. He was a member of the U.S. Navy at D-Day. There's a business card of his included. Carmen Gizzi, 104th Airborne, 401st Paratroop Infantry. And then this is Cosmo Utero, 175th Regiment, 29th Infantry Division. And that's Mr. Melnikoff. He said he got somebody to take a picture of him out in the field. And these are a couple photos signed by Cosmo Utero. One is signed and one is not, as you can see here. And that's Mr. Raymond Gettys from the Band of Brothers. Then we got Mr. Donald Brigette, who's part of the 506th Paratroop Infantry, 101st Airborne, not Band of Brothers. John Provini, 1st Wave Gunner on an LST 515. George Mullins, 1st Battalion, C Company. This is Henry Langer, 82nd Airborne, 505th Paratroop Infantry. George Klein, 2nd Ranger Battalion. So he would have been like in the movie with Tom Hanks. Why can I not remember the movie? But basically he was kind of like one of those guys. Not necessarily in that group because that wasn't entirely true, but it was also, they were real, if you get what I mean. So anyways, keep on moving along. We got a lot to cover. Daryl Rice, part of the 90th Infantry Division, D Company, 359th Regiment, also known as the Tough Hombres, which he did a little doodle and everything, which is pretty cool. Herbert May, ETO Tail Gunner, B-24. Robert Levine, Utah Beach, 90th Infantry Division. This is Mr. Richard Fragang. He was aboard the USS Augusta. This is Mr. Frank McCallum, who was also aboard the USS Augusta, so they might have seen each other. He was a gunner. And this one is Bernard Friedenberg, who was a medic, 1st Infantry Division. And then here's some extras. An extra one that he included. Helped save many lives. It also has a nice little letter from his wife. This is Mr. Richard Fazio, who received the Legion d'Honneur, which is the highest military decoration from France, which is basically the equivalent of the Medal of Honor. As well as this gentleman, Mr. Peter Fantaconi, also received the Legion d'Honneur. And this is a picture of the Legion d'Honneur that he received. So, and Mr. Fantaconi was a radioman for the Navy. Let me get into a lot of the Band of Brothers. We got Tex Combs, or Monroe Combs, included 3, signed custom, and included 2 photos. And there he is in his group. Sorry, may not focus because the fans are going. This is Herbert Swerth, also Band of Brothers. Bradford Freeman, Band of Brother. Ed or Doc Pepping, Band of Brother. This is Ed Shames, or Edward Shames, Band of Brother. Band of Brothers. Oh, yeah, I also have a note. There we go. This is Frank Soboleski, also from the Band of Brothers. Philip Perugini, also from the Band of Brothers. Basically, I sent to everybody who was living at the time. Got most of them back. Roderick Stroll, also Band of Brothers. Then we got Frank Hall, who was a member of Fox Company. I actually helped reconnect him with one of his company members that he did not have an address for, so that was kind of cool. I'd actually already gotten back from him before Mr. Hall. I don't care, my address is in there because I'm not going to be living there anyways, and it's actually not correct anyway, so that's alright. Here's a letter from Mr. Frank Hall. Yeah, there was, I think, yeah, he needed like one more person. This is Mr. Vincent A. Kordak. He sent me this one, and then later on, like 2 years later, I got this one as well. But as you can see, 6th Naval Beach Battalion, Omaha Beach, 2nd Wave, USS New Kent, Philippines, and Okinawa also received the Bronze Star. So, really cool. This is Mr. Sid Gilbertson, who did not sign my card, but he did sign my letter. And he said he was part of the 101st Airborne. This is Mr. Gerald Mack Anderson, who's part of the 2nd Wave, 16th Regiment, 1st Infantry Division on Utah Beach. And this one is Mr. Leslie Cruz, who we actually got 2 returns from in the same week, but both I had sent out like 2 or 3 years apart. So I actually only sent to him twice, but they still both came back. But he was part of H Company, 505th Paratroop Infantry Division, and 82nd Airborne Division. That is, what is that? That's Gerald Anderson. Extra included. That's Mr. Bob Newty. He was part of the 101st Airborne Division, 506 Paratroop Infantry, F Company. He fought at Bastogne and Battle of the Bulge. And here's the second request we sent to Leslie Cruz. And then here's some extras he included, which is pretty cool. And a really nice note from her. So, thank you, Mr. Cruz. And this one's pretty cool. This is Mr. Ivor Anderson. He was a British paratrooper and fought at Pegasus Bridge during D-Day. He had passed away the year before I sent, but his daughter actually found some things which completely blew me away. She did not have to do. Kind of felt like an idiot because I didn't know he had passed away. But kind of feel bad too, also like tearing into that old wound. But she was very gracious and kind to send some extras. So I sent this photo, but she sent this one. That's him and some of his comrades later on. And this was a little article. But she found, digging through some of his old stuff, an old recreational card from his recreational center that he would go to for his membership card that he had signed back in '72. So that just blew me away, just how incredible that was. So I definitely sent a really nice thank you note for sure to her. But that was just super cool. One of the best responses I probably had. And then here's a letter from her. I won't show her address though, because I don't want that getting out there. Then finally, this is Mr. Robert Barnard, who was part of the 6th Beach Battalion, Dog Red at Omaha Beach. He signed the back, which we'll flip to later. And this is Gerald Dydick, who's an ETO and Naval Combat Demolition. And there's Robert Barnard signed the back with all his details. And then Mr. Dydick signed his own custom, and I think signed the back of this one. Maybe he didn't. Oh, he did sign the front. It's just hard to see. There we go. So that's the tail end of this first binder. We still have to finish some of the middle, obviously, but that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Definitely appreciate you coming and sharing some history and watching and celebrating these men's lives and what they did on a pretty impactful day. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you all next time. Bye.